Her from running barrels until 2019 when she started training these amazing horses, and she has taken the futurity world by absolute storm. Now she is here for a chance at $50,000, but she has to get by the three-time world champion Britney Tonozzi and the reigning champion and greatest barrel racer of all time, Kassie Mowry. What a race we are about to have. They're going to go to the 1,000, so that way we don't have an issue of ties, because we saw a tie in the 9 round.
Well, you look at Anita, you look to your left, and there's Britney Tonozzi. You look to your right, there's Kassie Mowry. I don't know if there's an easy way to go with that.
I wouldn't look
that's
either
awfully
way.
tough, yeah.
I would not look either way.
But I tell you, she put on a clinic for Pool A, winning all 3 days, established a new arena record that lasted for a few days before Kassie Mowry got to town. That gray horse is fast. Kind of felt, you know, Janie, for Britney Tonozzi. She won the rodeo last night, the NFR Open in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and then you got to make that trip up here to Calgary. Obviously, it's worth it, but I get the feeling she's going to sleep pretty good tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I talked to her after a run. She says they actually caught a charter jet up here, landed at about 2 o'clock in the morning, came here for barrel practice just to make sure everything was looking good. Now she's headed to the 3-man here at the Calgary Stampede. But she mentioned this amazing story with this horse. This horse was actually brought over from Australia several years ago, owned and trained by her good friend Montana O'Donoghue Kent, brought over here, and then just kind of ran barrels, went to some rodeos, and then they decided for Britney to get to run this horse at Houston. Well, then they won round after round, and now they're here at Calgary Stampede. What an amazing story. And then Kassie Mowry, it's been the story of the entire year. It's been the story of the last 10 years when it comes to the world of barrel racing. She's won over $7.5 million in her career. She's trained some of the greatest barrel horses in the world. Jarvis has been amazing. She decided to run him at Calgary Stampede for the first time this year, and he just picked up and made the same run they make each and every time they go down the alleyway. We saw a pair of 1698s and Britney Pozzi with that 1697. Like I said, they're going to go to the 1,000th of a second here, so that way we don't have any ties, because that is how close this race has been.
Britney, she was the best in the semifinal round. She gets to go first in this championship round.
Britney and Bobby, they're going in there. This horse is so smooth in the turn. Wow, a down first barrel. I did not see that coming. I don't think I've seen this team hit a barrel this season so far. And so Britney's just going to go ahead and cruise through the pattern. If you're Anita or Kassie, you definitely took a look at that. That opens things up a little bit.
Yeah, 17.095.
Yeah, and see, she had her angle going into that first barrel. Bobby just gets on his hind end to come down, but actually caught it with that inside shoulder is what it looked like. You know, by the time you run twice in one day, these horses, they are anticipating these barrels. They know where everything is at, and they're firing on all cylinders.
That may make it a 2-horse race between Anita Ellis and Kassie Mowry if they leave the barrels up.
Yeah, they were the exact same time before.
Yeah, Britney won 2 years ago here. She won the World Championship that year. Anita Ellis, she gets to go second. Dominated Pool A.
This is her 5-year-old Rico. It looks like we lost a pelver, but we're okay. Made it around that first barrel, headed into that second. This horse is deceivingly fast. They can make mistakes and still clock, and they haven't made any so far. Turn that third barrel. Let's watch the clock. This is the big moment for Anita. 16, 9, 5, 6. Unbelievable. Made it all the way through the qualifier. Rico, that's the horse that she qualified to be here at the Calgary Stampede. She had to go through hundreds of barrel racers just to get here. Then she dominates her pool, clean slates the whole thing. This horse is only 5 years old at the biggest, greatest outdoor show on earth. Absolutely unbelievable. But we still have Kassie Mowry.
It's not in the top 50 when the Calgary Stampede started. If this stands up, it's going to be interesting to see where she is come Monday morning when you kind of update those standings, because she's climbing.
Wow.
She is cashing checks left and right. Kassie Mowry, she's been to 15 rodeos this season. She is #1 in the world by quite a landslide, and she wants that landslide to keep growing. But there is a lot of pressure on this run, an advantage to going last. Jarvis, he is always ready to go. Here we go. This team gets faster and faster with every run. Oh no, we had some ground trouble at that first barrel. Jarvis had a big slip. Cassie's gonna protect this horse, go in there, make a clean run. Is that ground trouble on the first barrel gonna cost him this win?
Time will tell. Yeah, 17.145.
Wow, a Anita Ellis in an absolutely Cinderella story at the Calgary Stampede.
Trying to get her breath. Can you blame her? IHOP replay.
Yes, that first barrel, that was not a fault of that horse or Kassie. We just had a slip. It happens in the barrel race. They still clocked, did such an impressive job this entire rodeo. But Anita Ellis in this story has just been absolutely amazing to follow. So consistent, a pen of young horses. She ran 2 different horses here at the Calgary Stampede, and there she is cheering on Kassie Mowry. She's an amazing sport. And Anita Ellis proving to be an absolute dominant trainer in the barrel horse world, and she just wins Calgary Stampede.
You know, she had a $71,000 in 4 days.
Good point.
Yeah, she won all 3 days of the pool, 21,000 total. It all counts in the WPRA standings. Then she wins 50,000 here. So a cowgirl that was nowhere to be found before the Stampede started is now $71,000 richer, and that's leapfrogging some cowgirls in the world standings.
Yeah, before that run, she was 32nd in the world, and she just won 50,000. That's going to move her way up that ladder. Wow.
Yeah, she's going to find herself right in the rearview mirror
I don't
of
know if
Kassie
I'd want
Mowry.
her showing up in Vegas if I was the rest of the
And
pool.
Britney Pozzi Tonozzi, who's up there close to the top. That is pretty spectacular.
For the Calgary Stampede.
The only cowgirl in the top 3 with a sub 17-second run. She gets the $50,000 check. The only blemish, she ran second to Britney Pozzi Tonozzi in the semifinals. That's the only time she was second in 5 rounds here at the Calgary Stampede. So that's pretty impressive for Anita Ellis. Had 2 horses, had the arena record at one time. Doesn't wind up with the arena record, but she does wind up with that $50,000 check. Gets to make that walk across the stage. How fun is that?
And set an arena record on both horses.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
Wayne
Oh my
Brooks.
gosh, you did it. It's over. You did it.
I'm so glad it's over, too. Oh, I've never been so nervous in my life.
The first day you and I talked, I said, all you got to do is win the first 3 days. This lady, probably maybe more than the bull rider, is going to get out of town with $71,000. How's that?
So amazing. Thank you. I have to say thank you to the committee. Awesome ground, kept our horses safe. You guys are all so great, and Britney Tonozzi for coming out and being our advocate out there. So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Let's step right over here just a little bit. I want you to watch this run. And these, you know, I don't know. These folks don't know. Tell me what's going through your mind as you make this run.
Well, when I turned the first, I was like, oh no, there's my bell boot. I left it right there. But I was happy because he kind of went wide my first run earlier at the first, and he came around that first so great. So I felt like it was going to be a smoking fast run.
And you ran 2 different horses and won everything you touched.
Yes, I am so grateful for my awesome horses. I decided to run Rico today because Axe has ran a lot this week at other rodeos and wanted to give him a little break, and Rico stepped up for me in a big way here.
In a big way. So, well, let's have you step right over here to the bronze. I'll call now upon